Okay, I received my new headset that I bought about some weeks ago, Logitech G430. And I have been testing it a little, and it seems that the sound is okay if I use it by USB. If I use it by uh, socket is the name. If I use it by socket, it doesn't work very well, but by USB it seems that the sound is okay. Uh, Usually my voice in videos is very low because I don't know, my computer has problems with all mics on all headsets, and headsets break in like 6 months. But this seems to be okay. I tested it a little. I want to test it during an entire video, so I will draw a little while I rant about stuff. So I think the better stuff to rant about now is probably the thing that is happening right now with video games in Spain. That is the Gaming Ladies event. And what happened with this? I will first lay out what happened, then my opinion, and well, what they say, then my opinion, and then what really happened. So the thing is, they did last year an event called Gaming Ladies. That is a gaming event made by a mobile company. I think it's related to Candy Crush, or at least I have seen that Candy Crush will be there and some other mobile games. And it's a gaming event for women only. And when I say women only, I mean that only women can go. If you are a man, you are forbidden to go. So what happened this year is that they made the announcement of the new event, and the next day they made an announcement saying that their sponsor have pulled it out and they can't do the event until another time. And the excuse they give, the reason they give is that they are being harassed by sexist gamers. That is what they say, okay? So first off, the first thing I want to say is that about the event is that I personally think that they should be able to do the event. That no one should try to boycott the event, and then that they shouldn't have cancelled the event. I think that what they say, because they are feminists, and the kind of feminists that say very stupid stuff, the typical feminist stuff that gaming is sexist and women are continuously harassed if they go to an event, so they need a safe space because if not, they will be continuously attacked by the sexist gamers and all that stupid stuff. That essentially almost never happens. I mean, I have been doing organizing and attending events like 6, 7, 8 events per year for like 15 years, and this has never happened in any relevant way. Like you may find like maybe one time a year in one event a one guy who is kind of socially awkward and does something stupid, maybe, but it's like it's not a problem. It's nothing. The gaming community, gaming events are everyone is uh, everyone is very receptive, and there's no discrimination. There is no one attacking women. That just doesn't happen. I mean, I just had 2 events this month. In one of the events, I dressed as Tracer, and no one told me anything about it. The judge for I was the presenter of the event, and I can say that the judge, some of the judges was, for example, there was a couple of lesbians, there was a couple of transsexuals, no one had any problem, no one said anything. They were very happy. They all said they wanted to come back. Nothing like that happens. Like in the other event, for example, I did an spontaneous event that was trying to beat the final boss of the Tekken 7. And of course, no one could because that boss is fucking terrible to kill. But one of the things that happened is that a lot of women tried. No one said absolutely anything. I have never heard that kind of comments of that feminists say that we say that they will not play good because they are women or things like that. And in fact, one of the women was the one who managed to kill more of the transformations of the boss, and everyone was cheering and applauding. There is this kind of attitude that feminists says are everywhere. I have never seen anything like that in any kind of event. That just, I think that doesn't happen. You obviously you can find like someone who can tell you, oh yes, one time in one event this happens to me, but there's always like one time, one person. You know, this is like so isolated stuff that is just not worth mentioning. It's just stuff that will happen to you one or two times in your life and have no relevance. The same as we guys will have. Like for example, I do a lot of cross dressing in events. I mean, I have cosplay as Ryuko, Tracer, Ram from ReZero. What more? The Moonmei from Cabaneri. I have made a lot of cross dressing. I think that maybe one time in all my life I have found someone saying, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, you know, everyone else is like, "I love your cosplay." That's just not a problem. And I remember now, like, I know I'm going. It's not the topic, but I want to lay first maybe what the reality about the gaming events are. I remember that one time I saw a video trying to promote the cosplay is not consent stuff, and they were at first like, yeah, we have to do this campaign because people in the gaming world and in the manga world are sexist and stuff. And to prove it, they interviewed several cosplayers, and none of the cosplayers could find any instance in which they were harassed or attacked or anything. Everything they could say, all of them, at much, it was like sometimes when I dress with a kind of bikini armor cosplay, I notice that some guys look at me, and that's it. That was like the whole extent of arguments they could find from cosplayers to argue in favor of cosplay is not consent. But then they go and say that, you know, the geek community gaming events are like full of sexist and women need safe space because they are continuously harassed and stuff. But then they can't find examples. so they claim that they need these events as kind of safe space, and I think it's completely stupid. I think they make a lot of excuse in favor of, oh, we can discriminate against men, but it's bad to discriminate against women. Like I see a lot of excuse that people saying that if we did a men only event, it will be discrimination, but doing this event is not discrimination and stupid stuff like that. I mean, I know not. What I want to say is that I know when I say that they should be able to do the event, I'm not trying to defend their reasoning. I think their reasoning is completely stupid. I think they are the typical radical retarded feminist that has prejudice against men, so everything that happens to men is not bad. But I think that people should be able to do collective events specific for a collective, or like the same way I think that men should be able to have barber shops and women should be able to have, like, I don't know, yoga classes only for women, or we should be able to have clubs where only men or women can go to talk about them. Maybe they want to go to talk shit about the men or about women. I think they should be able to do that. And in the same way, I think it's okay to have an event for only women as long as women could as well do an event for only men. Of course, we all know that that's not true. That if we try to do an event only for men, they will claim is absolute sexism and they will boycott it and everything under the sun. So we know that. I mean, that's obvious. But I think that if someday we want to fix all of this and if we want to be able to do everything we want and say everything we want, we can't try to forbid what the other side does and says. So I think they should be able to do this event. So in maybe sometime everyone can do whatever the fuck we want. Another thing that I want to say before I go into the harassment stuff is that I have been told, and I didn't know this, that in Spain apparently you have a law that says that if you do a public event, you can discriminate by reason of gender. So the event is technically illegal. They can't do an only woman gaming event because by law they are discriminating against men. So yeah, I mean, independently of what I think or independently of what they think, they can do the event legally. So with that out of the way, I want to talk about the harassment stuff. I have. They say that the event has been cancelled due to harassment, and there's now a lot of articles, even in English, trying to say that the event has been cancelled due to harassment, sexist harassment. So I have looked into all of their social media. They don't have a website, so obviously they have not been harassed in their website. So I have looked in their social media. Their Facebook is a closed group that has about 70 people, so obviously they have not been harassed there. So what's left is Twitter, and I have looked into their official account, and in their official account they have almost no comments. They have very few comments, and none of them are harassment. So we can skip that too. But apparently the place where they have more comments is in the Twitter of one of the organizers, and there are some other comments in if you write gaming low bar. I don't know how to say in low bar in and ladies. That's the name. I think you find comments. The thing is that I have been navigating through the comments to see if it's true that there is harassment, and I have not found it. I just didn't found harassment. I look at the comments. Obviously, there is like hundreds of comments now because after they announced that the event was cancelled, it became popular, it became controversial, it becomes trending. So now there's a lot of comments. Now there's trolls. Now you have people from forums like 4chan, the Spanish equivalent of 4chan, for example, going there to troll them and say the typical sexist jokes that are made just to piss off feminists. And they don't necessarily have to think that. But if you look at the comments made before they announced that the cancellation of the event, there is no harassment. I have a look at the comments, and what you find is there is a lot of people saying that they don't agree with the concept of the event because they think that is divisive, or they think it's segregation, or they think it's illegal, or that they think it's discriminatory. There are a lot of people who just make one comment like that, and then they get an answer from a feminist, and then obviously they answer back, and then the feminists say, "Oh, you are harassing us." That is the same thing that happened with Gamergate. Right? People make one comment saying, "I don't agree with you," then feminists answer back with an insult. I see that feminists are making a lot of insults, a lot of accusations, a lot more than the other side. So feminists make a lot of insults, accusations, and then if you answer back, then you're harassing them by their point of view. And that's what I see is happening. I see, if you look at the comments, and I will try to, if I remember, I will try to put in the description something to find, obviously in Spanish. And if you look at the comments, there are a lot of comments, for example, of women saying, I don't agree with this, this is discrimination, and also I have never been discriminated against in gaming events. I have faced harassment in gaming events. There's a lot of women saying that. There are even feminists who are saying, I'm a feminist, but I don't agree with this because this will cause more division. This will not cause integration in the gaming community. And those feminists are also being accused of being harassers. Sorry. So that's it. I mean, obviously, if there's hundreds of comments, so probably if you look now that it has become popular and trendy, you will probably find some comment that you can say, okay, this look bad. I think I found one comment that was something like, you do this because you can't play as well as men or something like that. And that was a stupid comment, but it was a comment made by that troll like a few hours ago before, after the cancellation. Most of the comments are just like, I don't agree with this. Completely normal comments. No harassment. And also, something that I want to say about the harassment stuff. They use a definition of harassment that is not harassment at all. Harassment is when you have someone, the same person, or same persons, that are continuously going against you, that are continuously posting, continuously trying to take you down, continuously insulting you. Everything you post, they make a comment and try to take you down. I have had a lot of harassers, okay? There's a lot of people who attacks me on Twitter, and I know them by name because they always come every time I post something, and I almost never ban anyone. I have very few people. I think I have absolutely no one banned in Twitter. One person banned in Facebook because he was a harasser I had a harasser for a long time, many years, and I had to ban him from several places. I had to ban a couple of people in DeviantArt because of the same thing, because they harassed my followers. They were, everything that I post, they wrote a comment answering to every single one of my followers, insulting them. Okay, that is harassment. Okay, when you make a continuous one time the other in everything you post, continuously saying insults and stuff. Okay, that is harassment. But what these people say is harassment is that you say something stupid on the internet, and then a group of people who have no relationship between them come and say one comment. And that's what they say is harassment. That is not harassment at all. But even going back by their definition of harassment, that is like one person make a comment that is like an insult or something like that, even with that definition, they have not been harassed. Because you look at the comments, and the vast majority of the comments are just well-mannered people making comments like, I think this is divisive, and you should go about this in a different way. Those are the kind of comments that they are receiving, and they say that's harassment. So I will say that this is bullshit, essentially. The narrative. What I think that's happening, well, there's another thing they say to lay out all the info. They also claim, when they were confronted with this, when people say there was no harassment, there was just some people making criticism, they say that the harassment came from foro coches. Foro coches is, the translation will be all cars to English or something like that. It's like the Spanish version of Paul from 4chan. They are like a small version. They are, of course, they are much less people, but they are like the smaller version of Paul. And they are people who do a lot of stuff on the internet. And in the same way as 4chan, you know, those trolling in the internet, they do trolling on the internet, but they don't do stuff in real life, so to say. They are the ones who cause that some of the singers that go to Eurovision, that if you don't know what Eurovision is this music event where all the countries in Europe and Australia, for some reason, send a singer and they compete. And Spain many times has sent people who are completely ridiculous, and it's because Forocoches makes a campaign to, you know, mass vote that person, and then that person goes to the Eurovision. They do stuff like that, but they claim that the thing is that they did a thread in their forum to essentially loud at the event, but they did it in their forum in Forocoches. You know, it's like if you go to Paul and then write a comment saying, "Oh, look at this event," and these people claim that this is harassment. That writing a comment in an obscure forum on the internet saying, "Oh, look at these people," is harassment. How is that harassment if you are not sending that to them? Harassment, for it to be harassment, you will have to go to them and say to them, "You are this or you are that." But what they are claiming is it's like if I go to a WhatsApp group with my friends and I say, "Hey, look at these people, they are stupid," and according to these people, that is harassment. That's their definition of harassment. I know it's very stupid. And as I say, these guys from Forocoches are probably now that it has become trending because of the cancellation. They are probably trolling them. They are probably saying some stuff like, you know, go to the kitchen and things like that, that are made obviously just to piss off feminists. And they are probably doing that now. But it's like very stupid to think that Forocoches will actually do something in real life against the event. And also, that's why you have security, you know. Whenever you have a public event, you have to hire security. You're forced to hire security, in fact. I know it because I have organized events. If you do an event in a public space with some size, you have to hire security. So if someone from Forocoches goes there, they will be just thrown out, and that's it. And I don't know what else I was going to say. But yeah, essentially it's that they are claiming this was done due to harassment, and I haven't found anything that could be said is harassment as to you will want to cancel an event in any way. So what I think, there are theories out there, like some people are saying that, and it's possible, I don't deny it, that maybe they are doing it on purpose, because it's kind of suspicious. I mean, the event they did last year had like zero repercussion. Like I didn't even know it existed until I think most of the people didn't know the event existed until the controversy, you know, that it was cancelled. And they published the announcement of the new event, and in just one day they cancelled the event. So it's kind of suspicious, and some people say that it may be because they wanted to create the controversy and then do the event at a later date with a lot of people going just because of censorship, you know, and feminism. It's a possibility, but what I think is probably happened is that the company that was giving the money for the event, that was King something, I don't remember right now. I don't have the data because I'm drawing, you know. Something King, it's a mobile, you know, Candy Crush and stuff. I think that they look at the comments of the people and they realize, because many people were saying this is against the law, it is illegal to do an event and discriminate on the basis of sex. So I think that they saw that and they say, okay, we are going to be in problems because this is illegal. And since there is a little of backlash and controversy, someone will tell the police maybe, and we will have problems. So they decided to just not do it. That I think that's what happened probably, which is similar to what happened to me last year when I tried to do a Gamergate debate, and what happened is that when there was only a few days left, social justice warriors on Twitter contacted the organization to complain that we're doing a debate. And it wasn't even a speech, it was a panel, it was a debate with anti-Gamergate people about Gamergate. And they began to say, oh, you can't do this, this is a Nazi rally, this is sexist people who want to drive women out of the internet and all that stupid stuff that we all know is false. But they began to say that, and then the event caved and they cancelled the debate. And I think this is exactly the same, with one different, and this is something I find very funny, and is that I have seen that the same people, because I know some of the names, that people who many of the same people who are saying that oh, this is a boycott, and look at this if you do this you are a sexist and this is censorship and all this stuff, that I will agree on a certain extent that it is censorship. But what I want to say, well, it depends, because if it is illegal to discriminate, it's a complicated issue probably. It's worth discussing in a debate actually. But what I want to say is that the same people who are saying that this is a horrible stuff, in many cases are the same people who were very, very, very happy that the Gamergate debate was cancelled, or even tried to cancel the event. And I think this is how you know that someone is ideologically biased. Like they are not consistent. If they, like, I think I have been consistent because, as I said at the beginning, I think that even if I disagree with the reasoning they have, they should have the right to do the event. If it is illegal, maybe it's another topic. But on the basis of consistency, I will say that I think they should be able to do the event. And so I obviously think that my debate should also be allowed. But then you look at these people and they are like, no, this event should be done, should be able to done. But these other events that I don't agree with, no, those can be censored. We can go to a theater where, for example, this happened in Spain a very few, I think it was last month or something like that. There's a humorist, that's the word? No, comedian. There's a comedian in Spain that social justice warriors don't like him because he does jokes that are very stereotypical, and so some of the jokes are based on gender and stuff, so they say he's sexist. And he's not. I mean, he's just making stereotypical jokes and that's it. But because they say he's sexist when he goes to a theater to do comedy, they go with panels and they try to stop the event from happening. You know the drill. I mean, feminists always do that with fire alarms and all this stuff. And this is the same people. I mean, it's the same people who do this stuff. It's the same people who are saying, "Oh, this event must be done," and the reasons they give are very, very stupid. I mean, I can give better reasons for this event happening than they do. I think that the reasons I have given for the event are more reasonable than the reasons they give. They say things like, for example, oh, you can go to any other event. You don't have to go to this event. You have all other events. And I think that's stupid because, for example, I can say, and I don't think this, okay, but it's an example. But I can, for example, say, okay, this restaurant or this bar doesn't admit gays. It discriminates against gays. But hey, you can go to any other venue. You can go to any other restaurant. So there is no problem. Why you complain? Why are you complaining? Huh? I mean, if you use that same reasoning, do you go to any other restaurant? So I don't. I see their excuses, and they try to. Many of their arguments are essentially they don't give arguments based on equality, or they give arguments based on, yeah, it's okay to discriminate against men because we women are harassed every time, and we don't have any space because everywhere we go people try to kill us, and all this ultra exaggerated stuff that doesn't have a base on reality. You don't see that in gaming events. You don't see that absolute harassment. If you look at if you pay attention to what they say, it's like they say these events are like Vietnam or something. I mean, seriously, you look at the comments, the things they say that happen to women if they go to an event, that you will think that they are stepping into a war zone or something. It's a lot of exaggerated, and I don't really know much more to say about this. I think I have tested the mic. Tell me if you think that the sound is better. I think it's better because I have tested it a little. You can tell me if you like these videos, if you have a topic that you would like me to talk about in videos. I will want to do more videos, but my English is a problem. If you want to support me, I have a Patreon where I do mature stuff, pornography stuff, hentai, monster rails. It's Patreon/Cucurullo, and then I have a website, is cucurullo.com, and my Twitter is Cucurullo also, my Facebook too, so DeviantArt is Cucurullo Art, so join if you want, follow me, whatever you want, and I will do more videos like this, so goodbye.